Thank you, everybody. I'm still stunned at this development. Let me simply recap for you a few snapshots, if you will, out of what we might call as the arc of my activist life, which the film captured rather symbolically. First of all, I'm on my mother's side of the family, a third-generation Oregonian, so growing up in the West and in those wonderful wild spaces is something that was just very important in formulating who I was and what I valued in the natural environment. On my father's side, as has been alluded, there is a relationship to one of the great icons of this organization, Ding Darling, who was my grandfather's first cousin. My grandfather was a PhD biologist, and he had a child's wonderful fantasy world in his backyard with all of the gardens, plants, strawberries, and a greenhouse, which you reveled in, and the smells of that natural world. Fast forward a little bit, family camping vacations throughout the West, the national parks, the state parks, and those wonderful rangers who would give the naturalist talks. There is nothing like the smell of pine needles and waking up, and of course, securing everything from the wildlife that would have liked to share in the food that one brought along to cook. Another seminal event was in 1960, the Democratic Convention was in Los Angeles. And of course, those of us who are of a certain age remember some of the language around the new generation of Americans. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. I think a lot of us who were conscious politically at that time, or policy conscious, were very moved by that issue of a challenge to us by John Kennedy. And then going forward a few years, it's already been alluded, I served as a White House Fellow in 1977-78, and at that time acquired as a mentor a fabulous guy, John Gardner, who was one of the true experts on leadership in the country, but most especially on leadership as citizens and civic activism. It wasn't about always going the political route. It was the importance of citizens not falling asleep at the job. And he had a wonderful quote that I'll share with you because I think a lot of us confront this in this organization, but in other organizations. He said, "We are continually faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as insoluble problems." He then also said that, in fact, those are the kinds of problems only we as citizens collectively can solve. Fast forward to the Wolfpack, the National Wildlife Federation in Michigan. I think there's much fondness among the Wolfpack of this band of unincorporated raiders who, if you remember, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, he's always referring to the Pinkertons as, who are those people? I think the Wolfpack has a little bit of that reputation on Capitol Hill and in Lansing. And it's wonderful to have that kind of anonymity and power together. And in that context, I then was recruited to the National Wildlife Federation Action Fund, which is the 501c4 that's a complement to the C3. We collectively try to get the agenda worked in a lot of different ways. We could go on about that, but I'm not going to. Just will come see me afterwards. But in that context, I want to especially thank my fellow board members who are here, and they are probably second only to the Michigan delegation as far as the noisy support that I've received in that wonderful round of applause. I want to definitely call them out for their support. Also, Andy Buxbaum, who headed the Great Lakes office and has now been serving interim at the C4, and among other many things. Malia Stenzel-Gilligan, fabulous staff support, and we all know that that's the key. And of course, Colin O'Mara and Bruce Wallace, who are leading this wonderful family. As you've heard, Ding Darling founded this organization 80 years ago in this room, and the organization has had this wonderful arc of activism as we look forward. I'm certainly anticipating another 80 years of wonderful work, and we'll leave you simply with the another quote, this one from Lyndon B. Johnson, whose voice you heard earlier. A genuinely free society cannot be a spectator society. Freedom, in its deepest sense, requires participation, full, zestful, knowledgeable participation. And that's what I would urge on all of us today, to continue the efforts of the National Wildlife Federation, but also in the other organizations you care about, the other causes. As citizens, we will help make this country all that it can be. Thank you.